Check, check. I don't know if y'all can hear me yet or not. I've put the chat on here. I've got my phone over here. See if everything goes live. Says I think it shows I got a few seconds left. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. We'll see if everything's working or not. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. It's a good Tuesday. Pops is in the house. You're live, it says. Sorry. I was checking my phone, trying to see whenever it went live. And I'm trying to check out the chat here. So, and I was at the rod run the end of last week, and this weekend we got back and edited the video for. I put it out Monday because the rod run's on everybody's mind right now, so I wanted to get it out while it was still fresh in people's mind. And so we're trying to get everything out for the live. Picked up the official program at the rod run this weekend while we was out. We'll see how everybody's coming in. Deborah Weber's in the house. How's it going, Deborah? It's my dad, Pops, is in the house. Hope everybody's, like I said, had a good weekend. We went to the rod run. I'll go over some of the stuff we picked up. Also brung down, or started getting a lot of the hot birds together. Somebody, I believe it was Chris or somebody asked for the hot birds last week. So I started getting those out. I got some woodies out. I got a 40s woodies that a lot of people, somebody was asking about. And I got some other stuff. So anyway, a lot of people starting to come in. It's like we got about 6 or so right now. But went to the rod run in Pigeon Forge. I don't know if y'all watched the video this week. And picked that up. Prater's Garage. Hey, what's up, buddy? And of course, this was the layout. I was going to get to the next date. So September 11th through 13th is the next rod run for the fall. I know some of y'all may not be into the rod run material, but I'm into real cars too. So rod run, me and my wife, we got married, went on our honeymoon to the rod run. And here in next week, it'll be 24 years that we've been married. And whenever we went to our honeymoon, the rod run was going on. So we've went every year, spring and fall since. And so the rod run is something that's always been some part of our life. So this Wednesday's video, I'm hoping I have it done by Wednesday, will be the actual walk around. And it's going to be inside the LeConte Center, the actual rod run part. It's going to have the show cars, the swap meet, car corral, all that. Probably be a pretty long video again about the car show. I'll go over some stuff I picked up while I was at the car show tonight. Prater's Garage. I'm sorry, Prater's Garage. I forgot your first name, but I did meet him at one of the Hot Wheels shows. I guess it was last month. No, maybe a month before then. But anyway, didn't make it out to this rod run. Did they have a good turnout? It was one of the slowest ones I've seen. Of course, it rained all the way through till Saturday morning. So I think a lot of people was of that. And then also they put the ban on last fall about being able to sell them right there on the strip. So you know how that goes. So anyway. And then, so I was trying to make sure my phone was getting chats. Austin, okay, sorry about that, Austin. Yeah, it was a slow rod run, but like I said, the video, I know y'all probably, I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but you can kind of see how empty it is. Because if you watch my spring of last year, completely full, can't really move. This year, you basically could park anytime you want to, any day you wanted to. So. Chris is in the house. What's up, Chris? Easy pickings. I did pick up some cool stuff there, but I might go over it real quick. Kyle Keith Productions asked if I got anything interesting lately. I'm going to go over some stuff I picked up at the rod run real quick. One of the things I said I wasn't going to buy was a sign, but I could not pass this sign up. This thing is like over 3 foot tall and 3 foot wide. It's crazy. And I saw it and I was like, I wanted this sign. Can't really put it in the up here, down here yet. I'll find a place to hang it in the shop, I'm sure. But this sign was killer. It's embossed and everything. But anyway, it's pretty heavy. I'm gonna set it over here. But I just wanted to get this out and show y'all. I had it up here, but kind of just blocked everything. And it's a lot of people put them in their 1/18 scale cars. A lot of people do customs with these. But I didn't have one this scale, so I picked it up. Not 100% sure what just happened, but everything stopped for a minute. But it's reconnected now, I hope. Since I got the Hotbirds out, I did pick up a Trans Am. This is a 1/43rd scale Trans Am, and this is a pullback. I don't know much about this. It says SS906, made in Hong Kong. I'm not 100% sure the brand. Doors open and all that, but and the hood opens. Looks like it's got a small block in it. But anyway, I picked it up. Of course, I've got a 79, and that's a 79. But of course, I collected all the Hotbird and all the 77 through 81 Trans Ams. I did pick up an arrow while I was at the show. This is a 55 Bel Air gasser. It's hard to see that the bottom there has got a, whenever they put it together, the bottom hit right here and it just kind of pushed it down. So I thought that was real cool. Of course, I collect the gasser too, so it was a double home run. Let's see. Of course, I picked up the program. I think I went over that earlier. I got these really cool. This guy bought out, I believe I understood it right, he bought out a Gulf, old Gulf dealerships material. I don't know exactly where he got them, so I bought 4 of these old original Gulf stickers. I thought those were really cool because, you know, it's from back in this was probably late 60s. Something else I got from him was this SO Tiger in the Tank gifts card set here. And it had never been opened till I opened it. And if y'all watch the show this week, you'll see me open it, but I'll show you what was inside of it. Let me get caught up on the chat real quick. Metal Trans Am hood blocked Wi-Fi. You're probably right. But I'm plugged in straight, so I don't know. Metal Trans Am blocked. Made it. How? Hey, what's up, Forrest? Hey, Lee. I'm just trying to catch everybody up. Yeah, I love the Rat Fink stuff. The Holly Gasser flew off the shelves. Only found maybe 2. Yeah, I agree. But anyway, this guy didn't want to open this, so he was like, "I'll take $5 for it." And he said he didn't know if he'd open it, so I just cut it open. You'll see it on the show. But what was in it was this. This was the keychain that was in it, and it has the official number there on the back. And it also had your the motor membership card, so you could send this in. So if you ever lost your keys, somebody found them, they can just drop them in the mail, and they'd ship to you, which is pretty cool. And then here's your sweepstakes entry form. And then check out that postage right there. 4-cent stamp goes on this one. This was 19. Let me look at the date on this. I'm pretty sure this was 1965s whenever these come out. And so you could win one of 50 6-man fastback Marlins from Rambler. And then they had 10 boats. Got some TV and tape, typewriter, slot cars. Pretty cool. That's all the stuff you could win. And then all your entries had to be in by August 16th, 1965. So all that was in that package. Like I said, I like that kind of odd stuff. So I went ahead and picked it up. Trying to think what else. got a couple other things. I don't know that I got it laid out, but I said that video will be this Thursday. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. I also got something my wife picked me up. She went to the Dollar Tree, and these are facial tissues. So she only got one box. I told her we're going to have to get another box so I can open one. I like to open one before I go to the Nationals, so I'll have something for everybody to look at. So they can... But anyway, now let me get back to the chat real quick. I got the hot birds out. We'll go over. I got the woodies out. Got some of the red line cases out. Some of the stuff we had talked about last week. Forrest made it. Let me get back. I remember the tiger in the tank. Yeah, I do too. Chris said all that stuff's awesome. I appreciate it. They had a tiger tail that hung out of the gas cap. I agree with you. I got one up in the shop somewhere. It used to be I used to have it in the little plastic cellophane, but who knows now? Everything's up in the shop, and it's just, I need to try to find that stuff. Taking a break from switching my Jeep tires. All right, Forrest, I understand that. That's a tough job all the way around. Gas cap, yeah. Got the tissues too in my car right now. Yeah, that's cool, Lee. Before we get into the hot birds and stuff, did y'all see the new 5-car packs that are coming out? I got some pictures, screenshots of them. I didn't know if y'all had seen them. I was gonna put them up here and see if I can pull it up to show y'all. But here's the first one. This is new. That's supposed to be coming out. This one's called the Hot Wheel Retro Racers. That 32 looks pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure this is some kind of Nissan up there. Not 100% sure. Now this one's a tune. 5-pack's about to come out here in another month. I need that 83 right there. Of course, I collect the 83. And then this is one of my favorites. It's about to come out. This is a Hot Wheels Gasser. Of course, it's got a 55 right there. And I think it says High Roller on the door. It's kind of hard to see in this picture. It's the only picture I found of it. And then this is a rollback that kind of matches. It's got like looks like a pair of dice on the side. So I wonder if that rollback probably hold that. But it's got some cool gassers in the set. So I don't know if y'all have seen those or not. But anyway, I just wanted to show you those 3-car sets. I thought those was pretty cool. Oh, one other thing I wanted to go over real quick is I found out is that at the Nationals, I believe this is supposed to be the pink party car this year. So it's the only car that I really want of all the cars is the pink party car. That's all the cars for the Nationals next week. But right there is the pink party car that I finally found out what it was. It's a 69 Charger. So kind of excited to see what that looks like in person. But anyway, just wanted to go over a few of those things real quick. Let me get back over to the chat to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out or sorry, I'm trying to get my chat to work and I don't know if it is or not. Let's see, we have tissue on the hunt for the gasser one. Yeah, me too for sure. I want a couple of the gasser ones. And then no, I was looking for the socks that was supposed to be there. I'm not 100% sure what she's talking about there. Maybe I missed something on the chat. Lee says, not seen yet the 55 gasser. No, I haven't either. And the party car is really cool. I'm excited about seeing it. But I just wanted to go over that real quick. Try to see what else I had on my list of stuff y'all wanted to talk about. I got the hot birds out. Now this ain't all of them, but this is quite a few of the variations. The first top 15 or so is all pre-1989, 89 and back, and then it catches up here from everything from 90 on, basically till now. And I've got a few variations missing. Of course, I've got a couple up here that I haven't opened yet, and I've got a couple variations. What's happening is I'll find them and I'll buy them at a convention or a show, and I'll put them in a box, and then I used to pack that box up, and they're up in the shop somewhere. So So I've got a few more variations here than what's out, and I've got a couple that I need to find. I'm looking for 2 more Leos. I've got one of the Leos, a white one that's pretty beat, but I need 2 more Leos. Of course, they're almost impossible. They never hardly ever come up for sale. And then whenever they do, they're usually out of my price range. But anyway, does anyone collect real classic cars here? Talking about real cars, Forrest. Is that what you're talking about? Because I know Chris does, and I do, real cars. And or if I don't know if you're talking about the classic series cars. But anyway, let me get back to. And right, and Austin said he did from Predator's Garage. Yeah, he's working on cars on his show. Currently now, I think I got the 74 Charger Super B, got the 79 TA, 64 Chevy Dodge, 64 Chevy G10 Scooby-Doo bus. The trying to think of what else we got. Oh yeah, 84 Dodge Ram, short wide. My son's got an 83 square body. Of course, my dad's got a couple. He's got my 55 Chevy, and he's got a 59 Olds Dynamic 88. So anyway, sorry. No, it's cool, Forrest. That's cool. We can talk about whatever you want. Some I wished I'd kept, but not a real car collector. Need a big garage, not a Jay Leno. And so what we're doing. So anyway, I brought down the 55s, and somebody was talking about the Woodies, so I brought down some Woodies also. Now all these are the Woodies from 1989 to from the beginning to 1989, and then this was a custom that I was doing of one. And then I've got some of the 77 Trans Ams up here, and then up there I have the Super. I still got to open. I've got the Lost Car of China up there, not open, and I got the Smokey and the Bandit. Let me. And then of course, whenever we're talking about the Hot Bird, I had to bring out the Smokey and the Bandit. 75 Kenworth. I found it going through a box looking for some stuff, so I went ahead and pulled it down and put it up there. So sorry. So we can now we can talk about real cars or whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm open with all of it. And then I also got some of the Redline cases back there. Somebody had talked about wanting those. And then I had sticker sheets wrote down. I think we kind of hit over those last week a little bit. These are sticker rounds. That was like before you had to have all the that. So I have a few. Yeah, Chris says he's got the 65 Tempest convertible, got the 70 Chevelle, the 71 El Camino. Yeah, he's got some cool cars. Me and Chris are personally friends, so I kind of know what he's got and know what he's into. He's kind of into the same stuff I'm into. If I misspeak, Chris, just let him know. But anyway, Lee says Kenworth got a black wall off the eBay years ago. Still have it. That's cool, Lee. I've got the couple of course, the steering rigs I have, and then of course you got the long shot. The long shot was basically the same casting as one of the front of these. I've actually got it right over there, and then I've got the Thunder Rollers right up there. Lee says, Ken work at, yeah. Austin says, this Dodge truck of yours is a one of a kind for sure. I appreciate it. Yeah, I bought it it's a one owner. I got it from the original owner. My wife's saying to show a picture of it. I don't know how hard it'll take to find them. I've got pictures on this phone from 8 years, like 3,000 pictures. But I don't mind showing it. Just give me a second to look for them. I don't want to keep the chat from moving, but 77 El Camino SS, which I still had. That's cool, Lee. And Forrest says he's got a 76 Vet, 72 Wrangler, 70 Jeep, 69 Civic, 76 Caprice, 79 Chevy, 90 Dodge. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. That's awesome. I tell you what, that Civic, those prices are starting to go crazy, and those Jeeps, matter of fact. All a lot of times most cars need work. As much as old cars, you know how it is working on them. I'm trying to find a picture of this and make sure I keep the chat going. I got some pictures of all kinds of stuff on here. Like I said, I'll try to find when I bought that truck, because it's a one owner, but I'll find it. I should have brung that stuff up before, but I haven't. Let me get back to chat. Just looking for pictures ain't doing me no good. It always takes me forever. Nearly bought my cousin's old C6 Corvette. It was in rough shape, so I had to pass on it. Yeah. Cars sometimes, I don't know if you, like you said, if you mess with cars much, you know that they're a lot of work. Um, uh, yeah, I can't find them. I'll try to bring them up next week. Yeah, Deborah says she drove old cars, didn't collect any. Yeah. Um, yeah, we got a bunch of cars right now. The only thing I know that doesn't, well, it runs, but I don't know what's going on with it. It's my Trans Am. Uh, wouldn't start. It won't start right now, so I've got to go up there and see what's going on with it. Um, and that old Dodge truck, the driver's side door, you can't undo it from outside, so I have to crawl in from the passenger side. So I've got to do some work on that door, but it's all right. So he's trying to build one of each for the grandkids. That's pretty cool. I've definitely got to do better with my pictures because a lot of people's asked, and I never have them ready to go when somebody asks. We just start talking about cars. Obviously, I collect Hot Wheels because I can't afford all the cars that I really want. So that's the only way I can afford all the cars I really want to get. So anyway, I'm trying to find them still, but I, I just can't. Going through 3,000 pictures is tough. I'll have to get them ready for next week, and I'll have them ready. I do have a picture of that's a picture of me and Dad whenever we restored a first Volkswagen Beetle that I had. And then there's a picture of my first muscle car that I drove. It's a 72 Chevelle. But bird is the word. I hear you. I actually sold a 78 Bandit Edition and a 79 SC one owner, and I ended up buying a 79 that has a new motor, transmission, brand new interior. It's painted solid white. He didn't put all the decals on it. So I've still got a little work to do. If I want to paint it, I can. If not, then I can leave it the white and just put the I found a picture of the truck when I first bought it. Finally. Sorry about that, people. Let's see if I can get it up there. It's a 74. I mean, an 84, I'm sorry. Dodge Ram, short, wide. And then still had the original hubcaps, and it's got the original topper. I took the topper off and the wheels off. I still got them. And then I put some Kragers on it. And this is what it looks like currently. I haven't done any of the rust on the back, but it'll probably buff 90% of the hood off and show some of the blue back through it. But anyway, I got that. I found that picture. Sorry it took so long. I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't think about it, and we just come back from the rod run, and of course, when you're at the rod run, there's cool rides everywhere. Yeah, let's see. Let me get back onto the chat here. I always wanted the GT 500 Shelby. Yeah, I hear you on that one. I seen a couple of replicas at the show that was real nice. Forrest says, let's see the birds. Yeah, we'll go with the birds right here in a second. I can still hear the sound of that old VW bug. Yeah, it's Ricky, I met you at the Huntsville show. We had watched all your videos. First time we caught you on. Lee says, welcome aboard. And my dad said we have a few motorcycles. Yeah, we got quite a few motorcycles up in the shop. We got a 72 Chopper, got a 64 Honda Dream, 74 Yamaha Enduro, 50 Monkey Honda, 19. I'm sorry, it's a 1970. I think it was a 74 or 75 Honda Monkey, and 754. I can't remember everything. I think he's got a 550 4, 1976 or 77. Not 100% sure. I can't remember them all right now. If it's straight, black it out. It is straight. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I love the blue on it. 2 campers that need restored, but not happening anytime soon. Done one from frame up. Don't want to go undertake that again. Yeah, my wife's talking about oh, Woody's in the house. Sorry, Woody. I didn't see you come in. Thanks for coming by and checking it out, bud. Says we have 2 campers that need restored. But yeah, I just read that. We restored a 69 Shasta, and we restore and what else do we restored a 69 Shasta from ground up. I'll try to find a picture of it. It'll take me a minute. And then I also got a 74 Airstream that I'm going to start working on, hopefully. And we've got a FMC motorhome up top also. Here's a top picture of the Charger. Sorry, I'm still looking for pictures. And then my original 02 Dodge Ram, stick shift, 5-speed. It's my son's truck now. Love the old Dodge. Had an art car parade here last week. Didn't go out. Probably see you online somewhere. Yeah, that's cool. I'm a little late, but was running a video. That's cool, Woody. Never say hi to Woody. I'm glad you got to come by and check it out, regardless. I'm trying to find a couple other pictures here. I should just stop and then get back into the chat. Here's the Trans Am I have currently. Not a fan of the wheels. I'm going to pull those off pretty soon. I want to put the, I'm going to either put the Kragers I got on them, or I'd like to find a set of snowflakes later, because it's hard to drive a Trans Am without snowflakes, but that's just my opinion. And here's a picture of the Shasta camper that we restored. It's a 69 model. And the only thing original on it is the frame and the metal on the outside. Everything else is brand new on it. But anyway, I'll get back to finding some more of those pictures later. No big deal. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything pulled back up because I've got everything on my phone and trying to pull this up over here. My mind's been scatterbrained. So anyway, we'll get back over here to the chat and we'll get back over here. I'll get that phone put down. So sorry about that, everybody. We got a sweet. Always like the Firebird. Looks sharp with white wheels. Yeah, I like it too, and I like that this one's got a bigger 350 in it, so that it's got a little bit more horsepower than the original. The other one, first one I had was a 400, and the other one was a 403, and both of them didn't have but about a little over 200 horses from the factory. So, Jason has finished the second project for the sale of the item is the yard, and I won't. We need a project this weekend. I don't know what she's saying. I know I need to mow the yard. I do know that. Small 5-hole fitted. Jeep small 5-hole fitted. Depends on which Jeep. I think the first Jeeps were a 4, was the small hole 4, 5 on 4.5. The original Jeeps were 4 on 4.5, which is the same thing as a Ford pattern, a small Ford. But I think the GMs were a 4.5 on 4.75. So you have to have an adapter, I believe, for that. But I could be wrong, because they did change some of the Jeeps later. I think they went on to a bigger bolt pattern in the 90s, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not up on the Jeeps. I just know we had a 74 Jeep for a little while. It had a 304 in it. That thing would pop wheelies. We ended up trading it for a speedboat, but that's a whole story down the road. Let's see. Let me get back over here. I always liked the Firebird. Yeah, I've already messed up where I was at. Everybody said hi to Woody. 90s Jeep I have 2 sets. That's cool. I always liked the Jeep. The 5 holes were cool. The aluminum 5 holes, and I always liked the. I was a big fan of the white wagon wheel look on the original Jeeps. So anyway, let me look at my list and go over everything so everybody can get caught up to where I went over the new 5-packs. Redline sticker sheets. We'll get through some hot birds. Got the Woodies wrote down, and I got some carrying cases if anybody wants to go through those too. So anyway, whatever y'all want to talk about next. I think Lee had said something about want to look at some hot birds. Is there any certain ones y'all want to know about, or let me know? Because like I said, I've got them laid out here. All the ones on top is pre-89. This is 77 through 89, and then of course it starts from 90 on to here. Got a few up there in the package, and I don't have them all out because some of them are still in the package, and some of them are up at the shop. I haven't opened some of them because as I found them at the shows and stuff, I would buy them and put them in boxes and then get home, and then half the time I wouldn't open the box because I didn't have room to put everything out, and I'd mark them off my toe mark and say that I've got them, and then now it's just a matter of finding them and getting them out. So, and then the 40s Woodies I did bring out. I collect the everything up to 89 we talked about. I've been moving my case around. These are all from 89 and 90. These 3 rows here, I kind of laid them in, and I'm trying to empty this case out so I can start working on it. got a lot of projects going on, like my wife said. I think I've lost the chat again. I apologize if I have. Um, but by far as hot birds go, besides the Leo, which I have besides the Leo that I have somewhere up in the shop, the next hardest to find would be these brown hot birds in good shape. This one was a blister pool that I bought from a guy at the convention. I don't remember how many years ago it was that I bought that one, but the story about it was kind of crazy because I went to the convention because that was one of the only ones I was missing at the time. I've got a couple of them. They're two variations there, but um, me and a couple of buddies that was up at the show and we were walking around and it was Saturday night and I'd actually went. That was one of the few things on my list that I wanted to pick up at that convention. And Saturday night, everybody's packing up and getting ready to go. And so whenever uh, we rounded one of the last corners, it was probably 11 or 12 o'clock at night. We walked into the room and this guy had um, this brown one and he had the blue one, which is this one exact car right here, next to each other in his case. And these both were blister pools. So they were so nice. I looked at them and we made a deal on them. Anyway, I said they look like they just got ripped out of the package, and he said they did. And he showed me the trash can. He said the boxes were messed up, so I ripped them out of the package, put them in here, and the boxes were in the trash. So I pulled the boxes out of the trash. Not that it matters because they won't go with the cars, but I thought it was awesome. I got lucky, and I know it's a weird story, but it just was crazy the way that went down. And so I ended up picking that brown one up and that blue one up from him, and they were both just ripped out of the package, which is crazy to find. My 78 here, or the 77, I'm sorry, the first year they put this one out. This one was a blister pool also. A lot of these are pretty close to blister pool position, but I know that one and those two got pulled out of the blister because I saw them. I actually had the blister, and that other one I pulled out because the whole end was busted out, so I went ahead and took it out. Let me get back off here. Lee says I have a couple of hard to find woodies, wheel varies, and paint varies. That is cool. I've got some woodies on the back side here. What do you need to collect woodies, buddy? This was the first release of the Woody. And you can tell that was the first release. I don't know if y'all can see it there, but this one has smooth, no wood grain. It's a little bit harder to find with no wood grain. And then this one does, and then all the rest of them since has had wood grain as far as I know. And I've never seen the blue one that come out right after with the smooth, because sometimes you think there might be a transition or whatever. And of course you go into the black wall high racker. And these are two different color blues is the reason they're in there. One's a light, one's a dark. And then you get into the Real Riders. Both of these are Real Riders. And then it's a light and a dark on those. And those are Hong Kong bases. Now this one is signed. I used to get Larry to sign a lot of things back in the day because, I mean, and this is a Malaysia base. So you got a Hong Kong and Malaysia base. And then I had this one signed. I had a few of his, what I call his more favorite ones signed. And then you've got the yellow high racker. And then you've got the yellow that come out in the standard base. And now it's got a smaller back wheel. You can kind of tell. Small back wheel and large back wheel. And then I had him sign this one with the small and the non-high racker. But that was some Woodies. That's from the first year of Woody all the way to 1989 there. I know there's a lot more than that out now. This was a custom I was working on back whenever I was thinking about doing it to match the, oh, this set right here. I had made up a few test samples of what I was going to work on, and I ended up passing on the Woody, but this was the way I was going to do the Woody and rust it up a little bit. And I happened to find it, and I was like, well, I'll just pull it out and show y'all this, because I know y'all saw that probably the other day of what I was working on for the last St. Louis. This was 15 years ago, and I hadn't made them in a long time, so it was cool to find that Woody, though, when I was looking for these other Woodies. Now let me get back over to hot birds. I think somebody's having questions about some hot birds. Sorry, I'm back and forth on everything, and I think I'm behind on the chat. So let's see. Awesome set with is the brown hot word sort of rare? Yeah, it's for American made ones. Besides the Leos, the brown one is pretty much the top. Then the blue one's pretty close, and then the color changer has really went up in the value. Now I have this one somewhere in the package. This one's got a couple of dents and dings on it, or a couple of pieces chipped on it, but I do have it in the package somewhere. So I probably need to upgrade it, because I used to buy them, just take them out of the package and stuff, but the color changer stuff, color racers have went crazy price now. They're over 100 for mint ones of those. Brown one, the brown blister pool there, I think the last one I saw that went off for over 600 on that blister pool edition. The blue one in that condition's over 100. Of course, the Captain America was never it was called the Captain America. It wasn't ever called the Hot Bird, but of course it is a hot bird casting, so I put it in there. Of course, I've got an orange interior on that somewhere. And I've got one with all large wheels, of course, there. I think y'all saw the other day of it. But anyway, let me get back over to the chat. I had to think one of the time. Yeah, I heard you talking about that, Woody. You need to try to get those cars back from your brother if you get a chance. Sign Larry stuff's cool. Don't have any except for Larry's garage initials on the base ones. Yeah, Lee, I used to get every convention I would see when I'd get the newsletter back in the day. They would say who was going to be the signers at the convention, and so I'd go in there and find out what cars that they had designed, and I'd take if they had a treasure hunt. Of course, it was before supers, a lot of it, but then they went into supers. But for the treasure hunts, I'd try to buy, if they had a real popular casting, I'd get them to sign those castings, because I got Larry to sign quite a few of the Purple Passions too back in the day, because that was one of his favorite passions. 40 Woody was one of his favorite cars too, so I had him sign that. I had a few cars signed by him. I have somebody was talking about a Bone Shaker. I have it somewhere signed. I need to find it. It's just initials though, because not really a whole lot to sign on the side of it. It's on the side of the car. Let me get back over here. Chris said that's an awesome story. Appreciate it, Chris. Custom barn find customs would be cool. Yeah, that is cool. That's what I was kind of going for on the rusted, but I never rusted them. I just thought they had a cool look with that bare metal look. Mine had the adjustable rear axle. Well, on the Hot Bird, I don't know if those had adjustable rears. Those are called high rakers. They had like the Corvette, the Woody, the D50 Dodge, the 34 Ford. I'm trying to think of all the different high wreckers. Oh, the Wedge, Turbo Wedge. I'm trying to think of all of them. I can't think of all of them right off the top of my head. I'll think of them here in a minute for some reason. My mind's trying to get back straight. Mine had the adjustable rear axle. Okay, that's where it was at. Not the standard base. Guess what you call it. Yeah. I have an old color changer Lambo and dark blister, big package with all the other stuff. Yeah, I've got a couple of the color changer right there. Matter of fact, of the Lambo, they're the Countach ones, the pink ones that turned from pink, I think, to white. 34 split window high wrecker, yeah. The coupe 34, yeah. I can't remember all the high wreckers. I'll try to remember them all. Turbo Wedge. Oh yeah, the vet van. I think that's all of them. The vet van 34. Turbo Wedge 63, 34. The Woody. Anyway, sorry. Trying to remember them all. Um, the prices on some of these are getting crazy. On the classics, I don't know if y'all have seen them lately. On the Hotbird classics, and then I'll show you something pretty rare that a lot of people had never found. I wish I never would have opened this one, but this is a painted Super. That's a painted base on a Super, and then this is the regular base, and then this is a painted base, and that's super rare. I still look for one in the package all the time, but it is what it is, you know. Um, Back in the day, they wasn't so expensive as what they are now, so the painted base is super rare. Of course, they had regulars, and that was the regular to it. You know, they had regulars and supers. I kind of liked it. If they were going to do supers, I think they should have done the regulars in the same car still, because I thought that was just a pretty cool concept. So, you know, if you found that car, you was going to get a treasure hunt, whether it was super or regular. But my opinion, everybody fussed whenever they had treasure hunts written on the boxes, and because everybody was pulling them, and then they changed it for everybody. Then they just started putting the little tampos on it. I don't think it really changed anything, because I think everybody is smart enough now um, to know what to look for whenever it's with they got the phones, they can look it right up. But anyway, my opinion. Yeah, vet vans are cool. I agree. Will you leave? Ford truck. Ford says Ford truck. I'm not sure. Ford truck. Now I know the Dodge D50 was a high wrecker. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Forrest, or unless you're talking about a different thing that I'm talking about that I missed. I forgot about the color changers. Isn't that where you put your car finger on change colors? No, put in hot or cold water, Woody, and they would change. Now they had some newer ones that come out in the early 90s that you could do that with. Put your finger on it and it change colors. They're like a plastic body. And then I think they still have them to today. I mean, I think I got a VW bus that you can put your finger on and let it sit. It's like a hot and cold thing. Cool base variations. Yeah, painted base variations are usually better ones. I agree with you on that one. What do you think? Cold H2O or hot? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm behind on the chat, and I think I'm staggered so much that I don't want to keep y'all from asking something and then me not answering it. I don't want to feel like I've moved on to another subject. But as far as the hot birds go, like this is not a variation you'll ever see just because of the way they made it. But you can kind of see the color difference between these two. So much metal flake. You can see that this one's like super black and then this one's like a light, but it's just the amount of glitter and how deep they put the color. So stuff like that, there'll be stuff in my collection like that that some people won't because I just like the color shifts and stuff. I don't know if y'all remember, we talked about the Rockford files the other day. I believe this was the car they used for in the package of the Rockford files. Because remember they casted it, I think they went back now. Remember they casted this just so they could do a Redline Club version of, it's actually this one. They did this one in the Redline Club with the opening hood. And then they put it out in some premiums. That was, I believe, we talked about the Rockford files the other day. Um, then they put out the Cent 68 with the opening hood in yellow. And then they did this silver version also with the opening hood. And then they went away from the opening hood now. I think they went back to the regular one. I'm not saying that they won't. It is kind of cool. But then they got into that 77, which is really cool. And then, of course, they went into the 77. And then that's like the modern classic, I guess. And that was the first one to come out of that one. It's probably the most expensive. No, I take it back. I guess the one I'm missing right now that I know of that I'm missing of the 77s is that NFTH. And I don't have it yet, and that's one that I'll be looking for. And then I started trying to collect the newer dragsters, and they've had the pink one out, and then they had the Troy Lee designs. So those are pretty expensive. I don't have those yet. I've always got something on the list for Trans Ams, and then I can't hardly pass them up without picking them up. Oh yeah, here's one I've got loose somewhere. So I kept this one carded because I know I've got it loose somewhere. I'm pretty sure there was 1,000 of those made. And then I got the Super I hadn't opened yet. I was gonna do a video of opening a bunch of cars because I cut them with a knife and open them so I can keep the packaging in case later on somebody thinks that you tried to fake something. I like to have the original packaging sometimes. First Rockford was 74, different body style, wasn't it? Yeah. The first, I looked it up after Chris had said something about it the other day, being a 74. Because I can remember later on in the series, I could remember the front end being of a 77, 78. So what he did was 74 and 75, he run a 74. Then 76, he run a 76, 77, he run a 77, and 78, he run a 78. So that was pretty wild. I had to go check that out after he said that because I remember when I was a kid watching it, and I still watch it some now because I just love watching the outside scenes. All those cars are so cool. But anyway, Woody says, Chris, paint your El Camino with glitter. It's crazy. I was kidding, obviously. And then Lee says, the Lost Cars of China, I have one or two of those also. I believe there was two out. There was I think it was a 4x4 Blazer, wasn't the other one, Lee? I can't 100% remember, but I think it was the 4x4 Blazer and then the Hot Bird. But I could be wrong. That's the kind of stuff I need to be able to look up. I've got something to be able to do that on here. I've got to get used to it so I can flip between this camera. So I'm hoping to get my new camera down here on my other computer so I don't have to carry this one back and forth and hopefully not mess it up. And but I want to get that. Being able to switch between this and my screen, so whenever y'all ask about something, we can look it up if I can't get to it right off. But anyway, sorry, just rambling again. I've only got the red hot birds. Yeah, there was a few red ones that come out. Here's a red. This was a regular mainline. And that you won't see this variation either in the books. And you can see that this one's a dark red and then a light red. So nothing you'll see in the books, just color swings. And I collect color swings also. That was the blue one that come out with the same color. So you know how that goes. One that's surprising to me that you don't see a ton of, I know it's not very expensive, is the ones that remember the Cars of America or whatever. And this is the Arizona Hot Bird. But anyway, not trying to get off subject, just trying to keep up with the chat and making sure that I want to give y'all some information that y'all want or whatever. Trying to think of some other cool birds. A lot of the first birds you're going to find is where they we're doing the switches between you'll see the different color interiors. Like the Captain America, you'll find some of them with orange and red interior. And then you'll find the black hot bird with the old ultra hots. You can find it with red interior, which was actually a numbered package car. I have it somewhere over here. We went through it the other day. I think it's in this box down here. I didn't pull it out right now. So that's one that I marked on my list that I had, but I haven't opened it off the package. So I hope the commercials aren't hitting y'all so bad like they did last week. I've had a couple people talk about the commercials, and I apologize. Because once you hit a commercial, I think it puts you behind. And I don't want everybody to be behind because I feel like I'm already behind. The red, the same base. I think you're talking about these. I believe this is what you're talking about. They both have the Malaysia base. I believe that's what you're talking about. If it's not, let me know for us. Good, Lee. I'm glad that the pop-ups aren't popping up on y'all like they was last week. I know a couple of y'all was getting a lot of ads last week. I'm trying to think. I did bring down some cases. Somebody talked about some Redline cases. I didn't bring a lot. This one, this case right here is the case. I think I told y'all the story about it the other day. I'll turn it. See, I'll push this over to the side. If there's any more things y'all want to know about the hot bird, let me know. Because like I said, this ain't all my hot birds. I've got a few more. I've just got to get them. I've got the 50-foot track set when I need to bring down from the shop. A couple other ones. But this case right here is a case that's full of red lines. But we went to the Watertown flea market. A yard sale. They have a mile-long yard sale every year. And we went to the mile-long yard sale, and that was sitting on the ground full of cars. And he was asking $25 for it. And this was back when I first started collecting Hot Wheels. So I wasn't really into the red line stuff at that time. This was probably 1997, 98. Probably 1998, more than likely. And we went through the whole yard sale and come back, and he still had it. So I ended up paying $25 for the Snake and Mongoose case, and it's still full of red lines. And then I can pull down a few of these. Somebody was asking about red line cases. I've got quite a few more up at the shop. I've got some over here. I've just got to dig them out. But like, that's pretty cool. It's got your swinging wing on that one and your Manus racing each other there on this. This one was like 1969. And then what's cool about this one, well, then I got this one right here. This one come out in 1975. That was one of the last Redline cases, and they went into Blackwall cases. But this one's pretty cool. This one's actually out in a few colors in 73. This is a 1973 case, and then this is a 1969 case. Same case, they just used monotone colors because it was cheaper. And they've got this case, I think I've got this case in a blue. It may be yellow, but I have to find them. I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to lie. But I do have this in another color, and then that's the color version. And I do have, this is a double stack, this is a single stack, and I do have a single stack of this somewhere, I'm pretty sure. And so those are some red line. I can unsnap that. And I just thought that was neat that these are all red lines that come together. So I'll take this top one off because the case is not in great shape. But you can look in there. Everything's red line in there. It's crazy. I haven't really done a heavy sort through to see exactly what's what. I just know that they're all pretty beat. And I haven't looked at them in probably 15, 20 years at least. I'll put this back in there. That's the way I bought it. The case is in bad shape. The top's about to break off. But there's over 72 cars in there. There's probably closer to 100 because they're double stacked on a lot of them. It's like a car graveyard in there. Sorry about that. I'm just stack that stuff back up. Anyway, didn't mean to get off topic. Let me get back over here. Ate the red at the same base. No. No pop-up ads here. Yeah, Lee, look at the numbers. Yes. Yeah, the numbers on the base is they got a date and time made is what those numbers are. Show the red lines in the case. Yeah, I can get them out and show them to y'all. There's quite a few. I think that's what you're talking about, those red lines, because I got beater red lines out going everywhere. That a peeping bomb red line I have, an antifreeze one. I have some. Oh yeah. This is, if that's what you're talking about. This is an Era peeping bomb. in the original package. But it's an error because that back wheel got pinched between the body and the base whenever it got put together. So I just had to have it. The guy said he was going to open it if not and fix the wheel. But I was like, I ended up doing some trading and getting that from him. Um, oh yeah, a couple other things I want to go over before we get on to something else. I have some dates. If some of y'all was asking about some new dates coming up with Hot Wheel shows. We got the Mid Tennessee. There's going to be a toy show and a Hot Wheel show. I'm thinking about setting up at the toy show. I collect toys too. I've got a lot of toys. If y'all have seen any of my videos from way back, you see the other side. I've got quite a few toys too. Anyway, they got the toy show May 3rd, August 2nd, and November 1st, and then they had the diecast show in the same spot, June 7th, September 6th, and December 6th. So my plans are probably to be at those next two. I'm hoping. And I'd like to set up at the toy show because I've got quite a few toys I don't want to ship if I don't have to. So I'd rather take them there and sell them or trade them around for other cars or something. The East Tennessee Hot Wheeler show I like to go to. It's the next one's in May 17th. The Cartersville, Georgia show. The next show on that's May 3rd. The Central Florida Diecast shows May 18th and June 15th. Corbin, Kentucky show, Civic Center. I don't know what this Corbin Civic Center. I don't know it says 9 to 5, but I don't know the date. I don't know what the deal is with that. Might be just me. Then this other show down here in Florida. Oh, okay. The Central Florida Diecast shows every third Sunday each month. I'm sorry. And then this KBS Hobby Show is first Saturday each month in Florida. So that's a couple of Florida shows. Chris Stangler show's coming up. I don't know if y'all are into that or not. It's going to be at the Kansas City International Airport, Embassy Suites. And it's going to be June the 12th. And in the California show, my wife's going to get the dates on those pretty soon. I think it's somewhere in November or middle October, 1st November, somewhere around there. So anyway, just wanted to go over those dates real quick. Sorry. Something that we had been talking about that I've been needing to do. And then I also got the, my wife talked to them about the t-shirts because they wasn't going to be in time for me to go to the convention. So they're saying now they're supposed to be in Monday, the April 21st. So if y'all said y'all wanted a shirt, I'm going to pull those. Everybody said they wanted a shirt that's messaged me and that we talked about here. Pulling those to the side. Anything I got left, I'll take to the convention. Just wanted to go over that too. So I'll let y'all know whenever they get in. Probably next Tuesday, hopefully. And I'll let y'all know here live or whatever, whenever they get in. But I was kind of worried about not having them at the ones I had extra to go when I go to the convention. So she got that taken care of. Somehow they got messed up on the order. But anyway, sorry, I just wanted to go over some of those dates because we talked about that before, and I wanted to go over some of this other. Lee says the cool original packing is great. Yeah, I have that red one. What Chris said, I must have messed up on a. Oh, Chris may have a red peeping bomb. I can't, or may have the red hot bird. I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, I was off on the chat there. Lee said cool package, and then Lee says off topic. How's eBay sales going? Just curious. Mine are going pretty good. I sell a lot of loose cars that I don't collect anymore on there. I sell a lot of toys, a lot of collectibles, just about anything that I don't need or want anymore. I kind of been putting on there. I know Chris sells on eBay a lot. I know Woody sells on eBay a lot. That's actually how we ended up meeting at one of the meetups, the 127. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all ever go to the 127 yard sale, world largest yard sale. I go to it every year. I've been going to it for I don't know how many years, and ended up meeting those guys at this last year's 127, and we've been good friends ever since. So that's the good part about doing that stuff also. Um, I don't know how people feel about eBay. I love eBay because nowadays, I used to didn't like it a lot. I've been selling on there for over 20 years. Um, when it first come in, it really hurt the buy, sell, and trade of Hot Wheels because people could find them online. But I think now it helps because there's a lot of people looking for rare stuff that you just can't find at some of the shows. So. And then Lee's, you do dirt mall selling? You do dirt mall selling. I'm not 100% sure what a dirt mall is unless you're talking about a flea market or something. Um, I used to set up at flea markets back in the day whenever they had the 127, the I-40, no, it was the I-24 flea market, and I used to do the Nashville flea market. I used to, I used to sell at the flea markets in the early 2000s. Matter of fact, I used to do the I-24. Now it's the Peterbilt building, and did the Nashville flea market for a long time. And then it's been years since I've done those, but I mean, I still go. Woody said he's got to run. See you later, Woody. The flea market was fun. You get a lot of regular people to come in and trade with you all the time, and you get to know your regulars, that kind of thing. But that was back in the days in the early 2000s where I was running to Walmart and sitting camping out and going to Target as much as I could on Monday mornings whenever I had a chance. Yeah, Lee, I've not heard it called the Dirt Mall before, but I can understand the reference sometimes. Uh, yeah, it's a it's a different atmosphere if you ever set up at the flea markets. But if you get started setting up at any of these Hot Wheel shows, flea markets, or any place that doesn't have a lot of diecast presents or any, like that, or whatever you're into presents, you'll find out people will find you real quick, and then you're off then. Because, oh, Chris said the red carrying case. That's cool. That red carrying case is a little bit harder to find than the colored ones. I don't know what they're bringing now. They used to be $60 to $80 for those in real good shape. So I don't know what they bring now. They may have come down some. It's been years since I've looked. Also, the red. You remember the rally cases, the original ones? They come out in a red and a blue also, and those are real rare. Yeah, some vendors are proud of their stuff. Some good deals to be had. If you know what you're looking for and you kind of get a general price, a lot of times you're better off to go to a Hot Wheel show or to a flea market that if you got regular people that can bring you stuff because time's money, and then you start thinking about how much time you start wasting trying to go to the shows trying to find it, or if you not shows but the Walmarts and Targets and all that, Dollar Generals, time you drive, the gas. It ain't no big deal to pay $3, $4 a car on some of the stuff to find sometimes. Then variations and then errors is my thing because they'll have 10 of the same car and I'll go find my error that way. A lot of times you just be scanning, it kind of jumps out at me. But let's go eBay. When I list stuff sells, when I don't list it slow. Yeah, Chris, I hear you on that. Right now, I've not been doing a lot on there because I'm getting ready to take a lot of stuff to the Nationals next week. And so my plan is to have quite a bit of stuff there. And I'm working on a video for this week. I don't know if some of the people that's come in lately, I'm working on the rest of the video I'm working on now is the, what am I trying to say? Sorry, my mind went blank. I'm trying to get stuff ready to go to the Nationals. I know I was talking about that. Oh yeah, uh, the video I'm working on now will be the swap meet and the car show inside the um, rod run that I just went to. My mind just went blank. I apologize. Um, they had 4 or 5 vendors in there that had quite a few Hot Wheels. And I may end up having to, I may do one big video and I may have to split it up with like a car show video and maybe do the vendor video separate or something. But yeah, Chris, you're just a little behind, bud. Sorry. It must be a commercial or something might have hit you. I'm behind too, so sorry about that. Yeah, Lee, I hear you on that. I get to the point where I find it's like if I'm out, my wife wants to go out, we're doing something, I'm going to go to the show. As soon as I hit Walmart, Target, if I go by a dollar store and we're going in, I'll run in and look at the cars because that's just a habit. And I'm always looking for errors. And of course, you're always wanting to find that treasure hunt or that newest car that's out. Now I'm going to be looking for these new 5-packs. I don't know if y'all saw the new 5-packs that are about to come out, but that Gasser 5-pack is going to be definitely on my radar. I've got to pick up one tuned. And I'm not 100% sure on the racers, but that 30 model Ford looked really good in that 5-pack. But I like looking for the new stuff that hadn't come out yet, seeing it, and then if I really like some of it, then I can start looking for it in the stores. Then you'll know what's popular, trade it for some older stuff that I need and that kind of thing. Trade them around, sell them. But anyway, I don't want to keep y'all from whatever y'all want to talk about. Is there anything specific that y'all want to talk about for next week or anything else y'all want to talk about today? Like I said, I got the hot birds out. I got most of the woodies out. I think I got a couple of woodies left put out. I can't remember the surfing wave woody was in there or not. I've got one of those in a baggie still that I opened to get it out back years ago. Got the 77 TAs out too. Want to do a video on opening. I've got quite a few things that needs to be opened, so I thought I'd do a video on opening them. And if there's anything else y'all want to talk about, I'll be more than happy to try to talk about it. If there's anything y'all want to talk about next week, let me know. I'll try to get some pictures ready for next week. Try to keep y'all up to date with some more stuff as I find out anything. Found all the national cars are finally out, so you know that the pink car is the 69 Charger, which is awesome. Oh, Deborah's heading out. I appreciate you. It was good meeting you and your husband there at the show. And I'm glad that you got to come out and hang out. And if there's anything you want to talk about, Deborah, jump in at any time. We'll do it again next Tuesday. Lee's heading out too, looks like. But yeah, if there's anything in the show, I see it's after 9. We'll go ahead and start wrapping it up. But if there's anything y'all want to talk about for next week or anything else y'all want to go over, if you want to let me know here, let me know in the comments. You can Instagram me, Facebook, whatever you want to call it. Instagram. And you can email me too at 01luxgarage@gmail. And also on Instagram, I'm luxgarage01. If y'all got any questions or anything y'all want to go over, anything y'all want to talk about, just let me know. And I'll try to get some stuff ready for next week. My plan is to try to get the video out Thursday. Then I've got to shoot another video for next Thursday because I'll be gone for the Nationals. And I'll be working on the rest of the week, getting everything ready and loaded to go to the Nationals. So it's going to be a tight week for me. I hope all y'all have a great week and a great weekend coming up. And I'll try to get the show out on Thursday. And I'll be back next Tuesday. But I appreciate everybody coming back and seeing me. If there's anything y'all want to talk about or let me know, like I said. And I'll catch y'all next week. I appreciate y'all coming by. Thumbs up if you liked it. If there's, like I said, if there's anything else, let me know. And I'll go ahead and let y'all go. Y'all have a great night. I'm trying to make sure I don't end it wrong. Because sometimes I hit an end broadcast and then it just cuts off. So I want to tell y'all bye and thanks for coming back and seeing me.